Now, in the 2026 NHL draft, the Vancouver Canucks have the 3rd overall pick, and they're heavily rumored to be drafting Caleb Malhotra. If you guys don't know his backstory, he's the son of former Canucks legend Manny Malhotra and a cousin of a great basketball player in Steve Nash. So today we're going to be simulating 10 years of Caleb Malhotra's career with the Vancouver Canucks, and we're going to see how many cups we could bring to this franchise of Vancouver.
Henry, back for Daniel. Lets it go, he scores!
Just wide of top. Caberlet line.
He has it, flips it through, steals, cutting in, shoots, scores! They've slayed the dragon! Alex Burrows, 5:22 into overtime!
So I think the plan is to just keep Caleb Malhotra in the minors for hopefully just a year, maybe 2 years. Just give him top minutes and hopefully he develops into a great player. So I'm just looking at our contracts here, and there's a lot of people I would like to get rid of, like Hronek, Pettersson, Besser, Marcus Pettersson, and Jake DeBrusk. I would really like to just get rid of all of these contracts. Sadly, the Canucks GM decided that they all deserve a no-move clause, so this is going to be a little complicated getting their contracts off the roster. Looking at the roster right now, we do have a couple good pieces with Liam Ogren and Marco Rossi, and then obviously for defense, I think Zeev Buyem's going to have to stay, and Tom Willander is also going to have to stay. Other than these 4 players, everybody on the team is on the trade block. So we're going to be sending Thatcher Demko, 6th round pick, 2027 5th, and a 2027 7th over to Pittsburgh for Pittsburgh's 2026 1st round pick, and for Joel Blomqvist, who's a young goaltender with a lot of potential, in hopes that he could maybe be our starter one day down in the future. And just like that, we got the trade done. Joel Blomqvist, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I think we're just going to sim the first month and see how the team plays, and we're just going to go from there. Okay, so after the first month of the season, the Vancouver Canucks are somehow 1st in the Pacific. We're trying to be a rebuilder right now. We shouldn't be winning games. So I think I'm just going to sim a couple more months, see how the team does. If we're still pretty good by the trade deadline, I might have to go in and talk to some of these players and ask them if they're willing to waive their no-move clauses, because we need to be getting younger and getting good draft picks so we could build a great team around Caleb Malhotra. So we're 4 days out from the trade deadline right now, and finally the team has been playing more of how I wanted and expected us to play. We are 27, 29, and 4, so we're out of a playoff spot, which is great. I'm hoping Filip Hronek's trade value is pretty high. We're going to go ask him and see if he's going to be willing to waive his no-move clause. Same with Brock Besser, hopefully Elias Pettersson too. So Pettersson, everything seems very risky, so we're just not going to ask him. We're just gonna, I guess he's sticking around for another year, as well as Brock Besser. Okay, this is not good. It's not looking like Filip Hronek wants to either. So Jake DeBrusk, very convincing. So this is great. We're gonna be trading Jake DeBrusk here at the trade deadline. We're gonna ask him what 3 teams he wants, and we're gonna go see where we're trading him. So Jake DeBrusk wants to go to Chicago, Montreal, or Toronto. I'm not sure what assets I could get from these teams. I'm hoping we could get a deal done with Chicago here, because I think they have some of the best young assets that we could grab. So we're looking at Jake DeBrusk, Derek Forbort, a 2026 3rd round pick, a 2026 1st round pick, and a 2027 4th round pick for Anton Frundell. Hopefully this is enough to get the trade done, and Chicago is saying no still. So we're going to be sending over Jake DeBrusk, a 2026 1st, 2026 3rd, and a 2027 2nd over to Chicago, and hopefully we can get Anton Frundell. This would be an insane trade. I don't know why Chicago would ever do this in any world, but this is NHL 26 we're talking about, so trade accepted. Bang. Anton Frundell, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. Wow. So we're going to try to send over Evander Kane, Derek Forbort, and a 2028 7th round pick for Utah's 2026 2nd, and this Bishop guy. I don't know who he is, but we just need him to make the contracts work here. So trade rejected. We're just going to add in just another draft pick here. Let's just grab another 7th, and hopefully this is enough just to get the 2nd round pick here. Trade rejected. Okay. So I don't think we're going to be able to get a second round pick here. So we're going to be sending Evander Kane and Derek Forbort over to the Calgary Flames for our 2026 third round pick, and just a player that I'm not going to re-sign, but we just need him in here to make the contracts work. So Calgary is going to accept that, and I'm not seeing anything else I like here. So I think that's just going to be it for the trade deadline. Hopefully our team is just going to continue to get worse and worse throughout the year, and hopefully we could win the draft lottery here. Now I'm just going to sim out the rest of the season here. Now hopefully the Canucks keep losing games. I hope that we put ourselves in the best position to win the draft lottery this year. So I was not expecting this to happen at all. We went on a 5-game win streak to end the season, and we somehow squeaked into a playoff spot. So yeah, hopefully this offseason we can convince Pettersson and Besser and Phil Hronek to waive their no move clauses, because this is a roster that shouldn't be winning. So Brock Besser led our team in points with the 78 points in 82 games, which I believe would be a career high for him. So you know what? Good for Brock Besser. And Elias Pettersson, he actually had an all right season himself too. 73 points in 82 games. I mean, I wouldn't complain about that. Like, that's, especially considering the players he has around him. I don't know. I don't really see how this team is winning games like it is. But Anton Frundell, he had 24 points. And he was minus 25. So Kevin Lankinen had 35 wins with a 903 save percentage. For this team to be in a playoff spot right now, I'm pretty shocked, but you know what? I'll take it. Maybe we could just go on a Cinderella run here. We do have the Oilers in the first round. Hopefully we could upset them and go on a run. So we lose the first game 4-3 in overtime, which I don't know. I don't expect the Canucks to win this series, but you never know. Now we're officially down 2-0 in the series, coming back to Vancouver. Hopefully we can get 2 wins on home ice here and go back to Edmonton with the series tied. We win the first game at home, so we won our first game at home, and we just lost the second game. So we're down 3-1 in the series now, going back to Edmonton. Hopefully this isn't it for us, but we're going to hop into the sim here. After the first period, we got goals from Elias Pettersson and Matt Savoy. So we're going to sim the second period here, and hopefully we're going to head into the third with a lead. And after goals from Max Sasson and Jason Dickinson, it's tied 2-2 going into the third period. A tie game with the season on the line. We need something big to happen here. So we're going to go into a slower sim here, and we're just going to hope that somebody on the Canucks can get it done. And we are on the power play. We don't capitalize there. Edmonton power play, and who else but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the Oiler. I think that is going to end our season. Yeah. So the Vancouver Canucks are eliminated from the playoffs after 5 games against the Oilers. Let's just go into the stats here quickly, and let's see how our players performed. So yeah, Max Sasson led our team with 4 points in 5 playoff games, followed by Philip Hronek, who actually had a very solid season for us. I'm pretty impressed with how he played. Elias Pettersson also played all right in the playoffs. I'm not sure what was going on with Brock Besser, though, having 2 assists in 5 games. This guy scored 30 goals for us this year. If we're going to want to win a playoff series, we're going to need goal scoring. So Kevin Lankinen actually played really good. He had a 918 save percentage, but unfortunately, our team just isn't good enough to win in the playoffs. And I'm still kind of upset that we made the playoffs anyways, because our team wasn't good, and it was pretty clear, or it was pretty evident that we probably would have been a first round exit, which we were, and now we're just going to get a bad first round draft pick. So I don't know what to think about this season. This season was just a really weird season. So now we're just going to sim up to the draft. So your Stanley Cup champions are the Colorado Avalanche. They did eliminate the Florida Panthers in Game 7 in the finals. So, and we're going to try to trade hopefully Besser or Pettersson in the draft. I'm going to talk to them again and see if they're willing to waive their contract at all. So Utah does end up winning the draft lottery. So I think we had 2 first round picks this year. Not one of them was in the top 16. So for a team that wants to be rebuilding, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. This is a weird year. Hopefully Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser will be willing to waive their no move clause, because this is a little annoying. So the persuasion success is risky, but we're just gonna go ahead and send it and see if PD will be willing to give us at least one team that he wants to be traded to. And it's not going to work. Okay, so I guess Elias Pettersson is going to be sticking around for one more year, which I don't know how I feel about that. We're going to go see if Phil Hronek wants to leave. And they're all risky, very risky. So once again, we're just going to try, and he doesn't want to be traded. So now we do have pick 17 and pick 18 in the draft. I don't think I'm going to trade these picks. I think I'm just going to keep them, and hopefully there's some good players for us. So now with our first pick, we're going to be drafting Cam Bradford. He's a medium elite sniper, left wingerman, and we are in some pretty desperate need of left wingers. So we're going to go ahead and make this pick. With pick 18, I would love to draft Isaac Rankin. He's a top 6 medium potential sniper. He's a right winger, but we just drafted a sniper, so I don't know if drafting another sniper is going to be the smartest thing to do. So I think we're going to just go ahead and take a chance here on Daxon Rudolph. Hopefully he could be a good serviceable defenseman for us down the road. He's got top 4 medium potential, so I'm okay with that draft pick. And now obviously I wasn't able to get anybody to waive their no move clause, so I don't think I'm going to be making any trades here. We're going to draft this. We're going to take a shot on this center. He's got possible medium elite potential, sniper again, which I think we have a lot, but we're just going to take a chance. And he's a top 6. Okay, I'm not mad with that pick. Now, I am in desperate need of some right wingers, so I'm just going to draft this right winger, and then I'm just going to sim the rest of the draft. Oh, okay, he's a top 6 high. That is a great pick for us. Now, if we keep drafting like that, I think we're going to be winning the cup in no time here. So now we did just draft a top 6 forward with medium potential in the 6th round, so that, again, is another great draft pick for us. So now we are going to re-sign Joel Blomqvist here. I'm hoping that he can be our starter of the future. I really hope his game turns out into what I think it can, but I'm not too sure. So we're just going to offer him a 1-year deal and leave it at that. Now, Teddy Bluger, I don't really have a use for you. I think I'm just going to let you walk. Same with P.O. Joseph. I don't really have a use for you. Yeah, P.O. Joseph, I'm just going to let you walk as well. I am going to sign Jack Thompson here, though, just to a 1-year deal. That looks great to me. And then all these other guys, they're all just AHL players, so I'm just going to sign most of them, and I'm probably just going to sign most of these guys, and I'll meet you guys over in free agency. So I'm just looking through free agency here, and there's not really a lot of players that I want to sign. Like Zegers could be good, but he's an RFA, so I'd have to give up some draft picks when I offer sheet him. To be honest, I'm just not willing to do that. Same with Dylan Holloway. He's actually a very interesting player. He could be a good second line forward for us, but once again, he is also an RFA, and I don't feel comfortable giving up draft picks for players like this just yet. If I was to acquire someone like Dylan Holloway, I'd rather just trade for them. I don't think I'm going to sign anyone here in free agency, but I am going to go check out what I have for extensions. Like Zeev Buium, we are definitely going to be extending you. What are you looking for? $6 million for the next 3 years. I kind of just want to offer Buium a contract that will keep him locked down for the rest of the video. So what if we give you an 8-year contract with a no movement? Okay, so we're going to try offering Zeev Buium a 8-year deal at $7.25 million. Hopefully he's going to be accepting this, and we're going to have him locked up for the rest of the video. Now, someone like Philip Hedl, I'm not going to extend him yet, but he could be an interesting piece to throw into a trade. So I'm definitely just going to keep him around for the rest of this year. And at the trade deadline, I'll probably try to get some assets for him because I don't see myself re-signing him. Now, Liam Ogren, he doesn't want an extension, but this is a player I would love to keep around. So he's only wanting 2.7 for 3 years. What if we give you 4 years at... We might be able to get a steal of a deal here. So Liam Ogren, what if I give you 4 years at 2.4 mil? Hopefully he's going to accept that. Lekaramaki, what are you wanting? You want 2.6 for 1 year? I'm just going to wait to sign you. You're still an RFA, so I have plenty of time. I have so many centers. I think I'm going to have to make a trade here and just get rid of some of these centers because this is... I think what I'm going to try to do here is I might try to trade Philip Hedl for a prospect and maybe just throw in Atu Ratti. And I'm severely lacking depth with my right wingers. So Zeev Buium, you are going to be sticking around for the rest of this video. So that is going to be great. And Liam Ogren, you are going to be saying no. So I might be trading Liam Ogren. I'm not too sure yet. I really don't know what to do with this roster. These no move clauses on Besser and Pettersson are really killing me right now because they're simulating like they want to be in the playoffs. But I don't see this team winning a cup anytime soon. We need to rebuild. This is getting really annoying. And obviously they have no interest in moving. So just looking at our roster here, I mean, there is a chance I can turn this team around. And if Besser and Pettersson keep simming well, I think we might have to just scrap the rebuild, call it a retool, and go for a cup next year. Because our forward core is looking pretty good. And Zeev Buium is already up to an 86 overall. So our D-core is a little weak, as well as our goaltending, but our forward group is looking pretty good. I won't lie. Although I do want to be in the lottery conversation at the end of the year, I don't know if I see that happening if we still have Pettersson and Besser on this roster. Now, Caleb Malhotra is also going to be on the roster this year, playing 4th line minutes for us. Hopefully this doesn't ruin his development, but he's too good for the AHL, and to be honest, he doesn't really have any good pieces around him in the AHL. So I think the smartest thing to do is just plug him into the lineup on the big squad and try to let him develop. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty stuck. I don't really know what to do with this team. I feel kind of handcuffed. I think I'm just going to sim up to the trade deadline, see where the team's at. And if we're winning, then I think we might just have to go for it. And if we're on the outside looking in, then we're going to try to sell the whole team. So we're 6 days out from the trade deadline. We're second last in the Pacific. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go see if Besser or Pettersson or Hronek are willing to waive their no move clause. And if they are, then we're going to tank for DuPont. And if they're not willing to waive, then I might just have to wait their contracts out until it turns into a modified no move clause, because this is really frustrating. Obviously, they're not the pieces that are going to get us over the edge, and I would much rather just get rid of them and start fresh. So just coming into PD. So everything is very risky with PD, so it looks like we're not going to be moving him this season. Now with Hronek, everything is risky as well. So I don't think we're going to be moving on from him this season either. I am in absolute shambles right now. Hopefully Brock Besser wants to move, and it's not looking like it. Okay. So once again at the trade deadline, Brock Besser is leading our team in points with 46 points in 60 games. So Frondell and Lekkerimaki, they're not playing great. Lekkerimaki does have 20 goals, which is something to look forward to. But besides that, I expect more points from these two guys. And Caleb Malhotra is struggling. He has 12 points in 60 games and he is minus 23. So entering the trade deadline here, I'm going to try to sell off as many pieces as I can. This is just turning out to be disaster. Just looking at it, if I try to sell any piece for a draft pick, we're going to be under the league minimum salary cap. I'm not sure what to do. I'm so stuck. I wish PD or Besser or Hronek were willing to waive their no move clause, but they just aren't. And if we go in and look at their trade values, it's not even like they have a high trade value either. Like Hronek has the highest, which actually that's a lot higher than I thought. So we're actually gonna go ask him. Let's see if he's willing to waive his no move clause. Okay, wait. Philip Hronek is willing to consider one team though. What team is he willing to go to? The Chicago Blackhawks. Interesting. We're going to go ask Brock Besser too. Brock Besser is willing to be moved. Okay. So it's just PD who's not willing to waive his no move clause. So if that's the case, PD, I might have to start burying you on the 4th line because this is just a joke. And Brock Besser is willing to move to Toronto. Oh boy. So now to make a deal like this work, I think we're gonna have to go trade Hedel or something just to pick up another contract, just so we can have room once we move off of Besser and Hronek. So now someone like Barclay Gaudreau, I'd be willing to just throw over a 6th round pick. Hopefully we'll be able to take on this contract and move on from Hedel. So San Jose Sharks are going to be accepting. So we're gonna be sending Hronek and the Toronto Maple Leafs 2028 4th round pick over to Chicago for their 1st round pick this year and our 2nd round pick, and then we're going to also try to get Sam Renzel, who could hopefully be a good 2nd line defenseman for us. So Chicago is going to be accepting that deal, and thankfully we are able to move on from one of those contracts. And Chicago already has Hronek up on the trade block, so I'm happy we got out of that deal. So we're going to try to send Besser and Dagenis over to Toronto for Matthew Nyes. I don't know in what world they would ever accept this, but we're going to try. Trade rejected. Okay, we're going to try to add in maybe a couple draft picks. And this is a deal I'd love to get done. Matthew Nyes is a great piece. And I could see him playing 1st line minutes for us down the road. So we're going to add a 7th and a 6th round pick of next year's draft. And hopefully that's enough to get this deal done. And it's not. Okay. Hopefully this is enough. I don't know in what world Toronto would ever do this deal, but Trade rejected. Okay. We're going to try adding Dagonis back into this deal, and hopefully this is enough to acquire Matthew Knies. And Toronto is still saying no. So I don't know if this is going to be possible. I think Brock Besser might be sticking around for another year. So what if we add Alexiev into this deal? Take out the 6th round pick. Oh, no. Okay, well, Brock Besser, I guess you're sticking around for the rest of the year. I'm going to try to move on from you at the draft, but for a while there, I thought I wasn't going to be able to move on from any of these contracts. So this is what our team's looking like after the trade deadline. Now, hopefully one day Marco Rossi could be our number 1 center, and I'm hoping Caleb Malhotra can turn into the number 2 center for this team. We also have Anton Frundell here, who I'd love to build around. But other than that, everybody on this forward core, I would be willing to move. Actually, also, Lekkerimaki, I would like to keep, because I know he scores goals in the sim, and you need a guy like that. And now our decor got significantly worse, but that's okay. And that's all that matters, is tanking for DuPont. That's all we're doing this year. So I'm just going to go ahead and sim out the rest of the season. Hopefully the Vancouver Canucks don't do what we did last year and just go on a win streak to end the year and somehow end up in the playoffs, because why are we winning? Okay, there's some losses. But hopefully the Vancouver Canucks don't do what they did last year and go on a 5-game win streak to end the season and squeak into the playoffs. Because I have 2 first-round draft picks right now, and I would love to see both of them fall into a lottery spot and potentially go 1-2. That would be the best case scenario. So we've made it to the end of the season, and your Colorado Avalanche will be taking home the President's Trophy, getting 62 wins. Holy smokes. And Pittsburgh Penguins somehow get 2nd in the league, winning the East. I mean, I guess Crosby's just the GOAT. And your Vancouver Canucks go 30-46-6 to finish 32nd in the league, giving us the highest odds at the number 1 pick this year. And honestly, I couldn't be happier right now. This is exactly what I was hoping for, and I just hope when the draft comes around, we end up winning the lottery and we get DuPont, but it's NHL 26. So the odds of us dropping to like the 10th pick is probably higher than us winning the draft. But looking at our team here, Brock Besser did end the year off, leading our team in points with 59 points in 82 games. That he also was a -24. I mean, this team is just a disaster. Like, we need to move on from Besser here. PD, you're putting up 50 points. You're making 11.6 mil, I believe. Oh, never mind. You're making 12.9 mil for 50 points. Like, this is absurd. I need to get this guy off my roster right now. And Zeev Buium and Anton Frundell, they haven't been looking very good either. I'm going to let them play another year or 2, but if they don't start developing here, then I might have to look at moving them, because these are 2 core pieces that I want in the future, and they're just not playing good enough. But at the same time, our team is pretty bad, so. And looking over at Caleb Malhotra, he did finish his first NHL season off with 4 goals and 15 assists for 19 points in 82 games. I mean, I don't know what the scouts were saying when we took him in 2026, but this isn't the Caleb Malhotra I was thinking he was going to be. A -27. Hopefully this is just a one-off year and he starts developing and he turns into a really great player for us. But I honestly can't look at the team's points and be mad, because this is what I wanted. I wanted to be bad. I want to tank, and I want to rebuild from the ground up. And looking at our goaltending stats here, these were just abysmal. I mean, Blomqvist, I don't think you're going to be my starting goalie in the future. If you played 43 games and you had 15 wins with the .894 save percentage, like, once again, I know our team isn't great, but if you're going to be our starting goalie in the future, I would expect at least a .900 save percentage. Kevin Lankinen, I don't really care how you do. I'm just waiting until your no move clause is over, which is at the end of this year. So coming into the offseason here, you're going to be gone off the roster. And that's going to be our main plan for this offseason, is we're going to look for a new goalie. We're going to find our starting goalie of the future. And the Carolina Hurricanes will be defeating the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 5 to win the Stanley Cup. There you have it. The Vancouver Canucks end up winning the draft lottery and will have the honors of selecting 1st overall in this year's draft. This pick is going to be a franchise-changing draft, I will say. So entering the draft here, Landon DuPont, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. This organization cannot be happy to have you. This is actually the first time I've ever had Landon DuPont, so I'm super excited to see how this turns out. Now with the 20th overall pick, we're going to go see if we can find a trade, because there's not really anyone around that area that I'm interested in drafting. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go try to trade that 20th overall pick. Hopefully we could pick up our future starting goaltender, maybe a Jesper Wallstedt or something. I'm not sure. So Minnesota does have Jesper Wallstedt on the trade block. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to send over the 20th overall pick and Patira over to the Minnesota Wild in hopes that we can acquire Jesper Wallstedt, because we're in desperate need of a starting goaltender for the future, and who better than the Wall of St. Paul? And Minnesota is going to be accepting this trade, and we got our number 1 D-man and we got our number 1 goalie in this draft. So heading into the re-sign phase here, we are going to be re-signing Lekkerimaki. I mean, I might just give him the keys to the city. He only wants 2 years at 2.5. Can we maybe... Let's try to lock him down for 8 years. There's a lot of money that we could spend right now. We've got a lot of cap space, and if we could get him at 5.5 for the next 8 years, hopefully he accepts that. Philip Hedl, I'm just going to let you walk. I should have traded you, but I was in some cap trouble and I just couldn't. Drew O'Connor, we do need left wingers, so 2 years. Do have a lot of cap space. We'll just sign you for 2 years, 2.25. Liam Ogren, we will qualify you. Thompson, we will qualify you. Sam Renzel, we will qualify you. Malhotra is already up to a 78 overall, so that's great. He's going to be playing third line minutes for us, and hopefully we can get rid of Petey and we could have Malhotra playing second line minutes. Barclay Goodrow, what do you want? 800K for 2 years. Yeah, you're just not going to play for us, so I don't see a reason of signing you, so I'm just going to let you walk. DPD, I'll qualify you. So now Jesper Wallstedt, what are you going to ask for? You're asking for 5.8 for 2 years. What if we could get you for 3 years at 6 point? Let's go 3 years at 6.4. Hopefully you're going to accept that, and we have a lot of goalies here. Blomqvist, yeah, you're going to continue to be our backup. Lankinen, I'm going to trade you. Blomqvist, we'll just sign you to 1.6 for 2 years. That's perfect salary for a backup. Wallstedt's going to be rejecting our offer. He feels like he needs to test free agency. You know what? He's an RFA. I might just let him walk to free agency and then sign him from there. And if someone offer sheets me, then we have more than enough cap space to match it. Jonathan Lekkerimaki, you're going to be sticking around for the rest of the video, so that is just great. Hopefully you could be a key piece to us when we're winning cups. So now Liam Ogren, I don't really see you in our future, but I will offer you, I'll just offer you a 1 year deal at 1.6. I'll probably end up trading you. Sam Renzel. So Sam Renzel, we're going to be signing you to a 1 year deal at 1.5 mil. That's going to be perfect. You're going to be playing third pair minutes for us. And Jack Thompson, 1 year, 1.3, that is totally okay with me. So Liam Ogren will be accepting, and he will be staying around for another year. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him yet. He could be a possible third line center for us, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sign these guys to AHL deals, and I'll see you guys in free agency. So before heading into free agency here, there's a couple players that I'm going to be trying to extend. Like Marco Rossi, what are you wanting? You're wanting 11 mil for 2 years. So yeah, we're just gonna wait on that. I don't know how you could be asking for 11 mil for 2 years when your career high in points is 63. NHL, can we please fix the contract system here, because this stuff is just a joke. No, Tom Willander, you're gonna be asking for 6 mil for 2 years. Once again, how can we be asking for 6 mil when your career high in points is 21, but you're also at minus 26? So maybe I won't be extending these guys. Maybe I'll just go back to Wallstedt, and so we're going to see if Wallstedt is going to want to sign with us long term. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to offer Wallstedt 6 years at $9.25 million with a 25% modified no trade clause. Hopefully he accepts this. If not, if he doesn't accept it, we always have Kevin Lankinen here to hold down the fort. Now, someone like Anton Frundell, we're definitely going to want you, but if I'm going to offer you an 8-year deal, you're going to be asking for $11 million. That is... So Anton Frundell, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to offer you 8 years at 10.5 mil. I'm not sure if you're going to accept this, but you wanting 1 year at 11 mil is just insane. I think your career high in points is 39, so... He probably won't accept that, but there is Quinn Hughes, and we do have the cap space to bring him, but there really isn't any interesting pieces here. But I think I'm going to try to offer a contract to Nick Waugh here. I'm just going to offer him a 1 year deal for $4 million, and by the trade deadline, my goal is just to move him. So Nick Waugh is going to be accepting that. Welcome to the team. Hopefully his trade value improves throughout the year, and we can get maybe a second round pick for him. So Anton Frundell is saying we haven't offered him enough money. Anton Frundell, why don't you come back and talk to me once you're a point per game player? Because I feel like if I'm offering you 10.5 sheets, you should at least have 70 points as a career high, but no, yours is 40, so we might be trading you. So I'm just looking at my salary cap here, and I've noticed that I'm not even at the salary cap floor. Since we have quite a bit of money to spend, I think I'm gonna go into sign free agents, and I'm just gonna sign a couple of old guys to like 1 year, $7 million just to reach the cap floor. Someone like Vladimir Tarasenko, he could play third line minutes for us. Hopefully he could play well enough that his trade value is still decent at the end of the year. We'll be able to trade him off at the trade deadline. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to offer him a 1 year deal at $6.2 million. I'm pretty sure he's going to go ahead and accept this. So now the plan with Tarasenko is going to be to ship him off at the deadline once he signs this deal. Since I've asked PD to be traded multiple times already, I'm wondering if I just don't play him in the lineup, will that cause him to want to be traded? Like if I just healthy scratch him for the whole year, or because he's making so much money, he just doesn't care and he's willing to stay here to do nothing. If Malhotra could play second line minutes this year, I think I might be scratching Pettersson for the whole season until we can trade him. Like someone like TJ Brody, he probably won't play for us. But we're going to offer him a 1 year deal at $4 million. Hopefully this puts us to the salary cap floor. And I don't even know if it's like worth trading TJ Brody because he sucks. But we need some contracts on this team and we need some old dogs to kind of help mentor these young guys that we have, like Zeke Bouya. Jack Johnson, you're 40 years old. You want $800K. You're not going to play for us. I'll give you a one-way ticket at $3 million. So he's going to accept that. We're going to give him a nice little retirement deal there. Probably won't end up trading him either. But so I believe we're finally at the cap floor here. It's been about 2 weeks since we've last talked to Rossi and Wallstead. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go see if they want anything lower. And Marco Rossi doesn't look like it. And Jesper Wallstead, he does want $3 million, but he only wants to sign for a year. So what if we could get him? Honestly, if we could get Wallstead to accept this 8-year deal at $9.8 million, I'm going to be extremely shocked, but at the same time, this could be a really good contract. I don't think he's going to accept it, but we're just going to go ahead and send it out to him. And if he doesn't accept this, then we might have to sign him to a 1 year deal. Oh, all right. So he's not going to accept 9.8. I don't really want to pay a goalie over 10 mil. I just want to go look at what his stats were these last couple of years because this is ridiculous. He had an .895 save percentage last year. His best save percentage in the NHL is an .896, and that was with 16 games played. And he still had a .327 goals against. This is what I don't understand, NHL. Like, NHL 26 devs, if you're listening to this, in what world is a goalie saying no to an 8-year deal at $9.8 million when his career best save percentage is at .896? So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. Wallstead, I'll see you in preseason. If you don't want to sign, then you're sitting out a whole year. I ain't playing any of these games. You're not worth that money. So heading into year 3, this is what my team's currently looking like. We did in fact move Marco Rossi up to the first line, and we've bumped Brock Besser down to the second line. And EP40, I'm sorry, but you're going to be a healthy scratch until I can trade you because you have no reason to be playing in my lineup. I have some young guys I'm trying to develop and give them minutes. And Caleb Malhotra, you're finally going to be playing top 6 minutes in the NHL. You better not disappoint me. Jesper Wallstead, are you asking for a reasonable deal now? 1 year at $2 million. I'm still trying to get you to an 8-year deal. What if I offer you again 8 years? I'll go 8 years at 9.8 again. This is the same exact deal. Actually, I'm going to lower it a little bit. We're going to go 8 years at 9.5 with a modified no trade clause and a no movement clause. You better accept this. Otherwise, I'm sorry, Wallstead, but you are not going to be playing a game in the NHL this season. You might as well go sign a deal in Sweden because you're not playing for the Canucks. And this is going to be our last year being bad. Next summer, we're going to be making a lot of big boy moves. We might make a couple big free agency signings, depending on who's in free agency. This is going to be the last year the Vancouver Canucks are going to suck. Okay. You have said no. Good luck in Sweden this year. You are not going to play a game for the Vancouver Canucks. I'm sorry. If you're not going to want to sign on a reasonable deal, I don't want you on the team. I could trade you, but I still believe in you. Oh, okay. I guess he accepts the qualifying offer, though. So I guess. Wallstead, welcome to the Canucks. I didn't want you. So I'm just going to sim the first month here, and I just want to see how the team does. So, after the first month of NHL hockey, the Vancouver Canucks are 2-6-1. I couldn't be happier. Marco Rossi is leading our team in points. Finally, Brock Besser isn't. Wow. Okay, Rossi, you were having a great year. I might need to sign him quick before he starts asking for way too much. Lekaramaki, great. Frondell, great. This is exactly what I wanted. My first line, looking good. They're all young. Key pieces of the future, leading our team. Uyem's doing good. Besser, I don't care. We're trading you anyway. Malhotra, 9 games, 3 points. I mean, I don't really know like where our depth scoring is here. Like your line mate, Liam Ogren, has 1 point. I'm really curious to see where's Wallstead playing? Is Wallstead seriously playing in the minors for us right now? Is Wallstead healthy scratched? Wallstead is a healthy scratch for the Abbotsford Canucks. I mean, I wish I could just do that to him, but I don't think I should do that to Wallstead because he's still 24. That's gonna mess with his development. So I think the smartest thing for me to do right now would be to trade Lankinen away. Trade Lankinen away for like a draft pick or anything really. Just dump his cap. Wallstead, you could come play with the big club. You could finally get some starts. Hopefully when I offer you another extension, you aren't wanting over 9.8 mil like I've already offered you. So now Lankinen does have a modified no trade clause, but there does seem to be quite a few teams that he is willing to go to. So I think I'm just gonna go find a rebuilder out of any of these teams, and I don't even know. Like Lankinen's trade value is not that great. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna out of conference team Boston. I'm pretty sure Boston's on his list. We will take we'll try to take a 6th round pick. And we would be under league minimum salary cap. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. This isn't looking good. So if we're not able to trade Lankinen right now, I wonder if we send someone Hoglander or Ogren with Besser and get a top left winger for Marco Rossi and give Frondell second line minutes. And then Coots would be able to play second line right wing even though he's a center. Wow, we have some crazy center depth actually. So I'm gonna go browse the trade block here, and I'm gonna go see if I can find anything that interests me, because Wallstead, we definitely do not want you playing in the AHL. You're not even playing in the AHL. That's the worst part. You're just sitting there riding the iron lung with the fellers. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go figure this out, and let's go see what we can do. So we're gonna try to send Ogren, Alexiev, and a 7th round pick over to Pittsburgh in hopes that we could acquire Rutger McGroarty. For Ogren, we have so many centers, we're not going to use him ever in the center position, and obviously he doesn't have a secondary position, so I think it's best for us to just get rid of him. Alexiev is 19 at a 58 overall. This player is not going to develop in time for us, if he even develops. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to offer this trade, and Pittsburgh is going to be rejecting. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to add a 5th round pick in. Hopefully this will be enough to get it over the edge. I don't really want to trade all my draft picks just because we're not going to be a good team still. So I want to keep some of my draft picks, but we might have to sweeten the pot with another player here. I guess not. I guess Pittsburgh in some crazy world is going to be trading away Rutger McGroarty. This was a great trade for us. I'm very happy that we got this deal done. And now we got McGroarty on the team. So now, honestly, I think I'm going to send Kevin Lankinen down to the minors because, yeah, I really have no use for Lankinen to be on the big team. Hopefully I'm allowed to do this, and he'll probably get claimed on waivers, but honestly, I don't even care. I don't need him. I don't want him. We're going to go ahead, and there we have it. I don't believe anybody claimed Lankinen off waivers. Yeah, that's not a great look, but so let's go ahead and let's edit our NHL lines here. Let's slot McGroarty in here. So now our second line is looking a lot better, and I just realized Caleb Malhotra is already up to an 81 overall, which is great. And with goalies, I guess we're gonna just Wallstead, you could be our starter. I'm sorry for all the mean things I said about you earlier in this video, but PD, you're still gonna be a healthy scratch for us. I really have no use for you. I just hope that come trade deadline, you will be willing to be traded because I'm pretty sick of you. But at the same time, I kind of need you and your contract right now. So thankfully, you're still a part of the team. Actually, now that I think of it, I probably can't even trade you. Unless I want to take on another crazy big contract, which I don't really want to do. So now real quick, I'm just going to go see what Rossi is wanting. I want to sign him for, okay, so he wants 5 years at 18 mil. So Marco Rossi, you might be getting traded here. Actually, we're going to follow Rossi closely this season. And if this asking price doesn't go down, we're going to trade him because I don't want to sign him to an $18 million contract. There could even be a world where we trade him for another D-man or another winger. And we have Malhotra, Coots as our top 2 centermen. Like there's a lot of things we can do right now. So we have a really bright future in Vancouver, but Frondell, I am going to offer you an 8-year deal at, you want 8.5. Anton Frondell, you know what? I've been pretty happy with how you've played so far. I'm going to offer you an 8-year deal at 9.5 with a modified no trade clause. Hopefully you accept this. If not, it's not the end of the world. There's still lots of time to get you signed. I'm just going to sum up to the trade deadline. Hopefully we're still doing bad because this is officially going to be the last year of the tank. And then we're going to turn everything around in the summer and we're going to start competing for cups. So Anton Frondell is rejecting it. I guess he doesn't want to accept an 8-year deal. That's fine. We'll see if he changes his mind in the summer or something. I'm not too worried about getting this contract done. I'll pay him pretty much whatever he wants. So Dallas is offering a 2nd round pick for my 6th round pick this year, my 7th round pick next year, and for Jack Johnson. I actually really like this offer. I feel like this is a good deal for us to make. I think I'm going to try to add in a 7th round pick as well. Just to see if we can get maybe a little bit more. But I think I'm going to accept this trade because the 2nd round pick that we're going to get, we could use in a trade over the summer or next year. So this is definitely worth it for me. So we're going to go ahead and offer this. They're saying no. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to accept it for a 2nd round pick. Thank you very much, Dallas. Pleasure doing business with you. We're just going to claim Niels Lundqvist here too, because why not? Maybe we could flip him at the deadline or something. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline here. We're 28, 26, and 7. We're 5 points outside of the playoffs right now. I think what my plan is I'm going to go into my contracts here. I'm going to go see if I could re-sign a couple pieces like Nick Waugh or maybe Marco Rossi. If not, we might be moving Rossi. I might just sell off a couple pieces here. In the summertime is when we turn things around and we start turning into a winning team here and a cup contender. So I think Linus Karlsson, we're going to trade him off at the deadline here. But I think Nick Waugh, I've been really impressed with how he's played so far with us. And if he's only asking for 2.4 mil, I'd have to be stupid not to accept this, or at least send this contract offer off to him. So we're going to sweeten the pot a little bit. We're going to offer him 2.8 for 3 years. Hopefully he's going to be accepting this. And he'll be our 3rd or 4th line center in the future. Okay. So we have Nicholas Waugh locked down. Now let's see what Marco Rossi is still asking for. He's still asking for way too much money. So if I wanted to sign him to an 8-year deal, I'd have to give him 21.8 mil minimum. His career high in points is 63. Right now he is on pace to break it, but he's still not a point per game player. So I don't understand. Once again, NHL, I don't understand why this guy's asking for so much money. I don't know. I think we're going to have to trade Rossi here because this is really annoying. And now, Frondell, this is a deal I could get behind here. What if we offer you 6 years at 7.85? Hopefully you'll be accepting this and we'll have you locked down for the next 6 years. So I think I know what I want to do with Marco Rossi. I think I want to send him over to Anaheim. And in return, we'll get the big man in Leo Carlsson. I'll even throw in Dallas's 2nd round pick that they sent me. Hopefully this is enough to get this deal done. If not, I'm definitely willing to add more pieces to this. So Anaheim's going to be rejecting. I'll just need to sweeten the value by just a touch. So we're just going to add in a 7th round pick here. And that should be more than enough to get this deal done. And Leo Carlsson, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. It's a pleasure to have you here. You're going to be lifting a lot of Stanley Cups with this franchise. Now we're going to try to send over Niels Hoglander over to LA Kings. In return, we're going to get Lawson Krause. We are going to be retaining some salary on Hoglander, but that's okay with me. LA is going to say no to this deal. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to add in another 7th round pick in here. And hopefully this is enough to get this deal done. and it is. Hopefully down the road, he will be a good third line left winger for us. He's got the size, and that's what we need on our third line. So we're gonna be sending Carlson over to the Islanders. Hopefully we'll be able to I know we'll be able to get the second round pick from them, but hopefully we'll be able to get the 7th, but they're going to say no to it. Now, what if I just take out the 7th round pick? They're still going to say no to it, so they're going to say Brett Kulak is going to be put on waivers. So if that is the case, why don't you just send me Brett Kulak? I'll give you this prospect. I'll never sign this prospect. So hopefully this goes through. And the Islanders are accepting it. So thank you, New York. We just got a free second round pick from you guys. So we're going to try to send Tarasenko over to Pittsburgh for Dallas's second round pick this year. Hopefully they're going to be accepting it. And they're not going to. So let's just go ahead and throw in a 7th round pick. I'm going to be all out of 7th round picks at the end of this. Like, this is ridiculous. They're going to be accepting that, Tarasenko. This was the plan all along. We got a second round pick from you. So that's great news for us. So after the trade deadline, this is what our roster is looking like. Unfortunately, I am going to have to start playing Pettersson in the lineup just because we have a lack of forwards now. But I'm really happy we got Leo Carlson from Anaheim. I feel like this was a steal of a trade because he is signed for 5 more years at $8 million. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to sim the rest of the season here. I don't expect us to make the playoffs, nor do I want to make the playoffs. But honestly, right now, I wouldn't be too mad if this roster made the playoffs because... Oh, and look at that. Frondell is going to be accepting. That is unreal for us. At the end of the year, the Vancouver Canucks, once again, will be missing the playoffs and finishing last in the Pacific Division. We're not trying to win just yet. This is going to be the biggest offseason in Vancouver Canucks history. And Caleb Malhotra better develop into at least an 85 overall so he could be a stellar second-line center for us, and then we could finally make a push for the playoffs here. Once again, your Colorado Avalanche will be taking home the Stanley Cup. Oh, Vancouver Canucks. We're jumping up from 6-2. Let's go, dude. This might be the luckiest I've ever been with the draft lottery in my entire life of playing franchise mode. This is unbelievable. So N. Jacobs goes first overall. He's a 81 overall playmaker with medium elite potential. Do we pick up Maddox Schultz and have arguably the best center depth of all time, or do we grab another left-handed D-man that can play with Wielander? I would really love to just draft Schultz, but I think we're gonna have to go with our needs here, and I think drafting a defenseman right now would be more important to us. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draft Blacker here. He's a NHL ready two-way defenseman. Okay, let's just see what Schultz is. He's 83 overall. Oh boy, we might have made a mistake. Franchise medium. Yeah, we might have made a mistake. Oh no. You know what? I can't even be mad about this pick. Like, we already have Leo Carlson. We don't need Maddox Schultz. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna sim to our next pick here. I think we're gonna take a shot at this possible elite potential. Hermie turns out to be he's a top 6 forward low, so probably not the greatest pick, but I think we're just gonna go best available here. We're going to pick Bolton. Top 6 low. I do like how he's a power forward, though. So we didn't really end up drafting anybody else that was noteworthy, but I will say I'm pretty happy with how this draft went, because going into next year, our top 4 D pairing is going to look disgusting with DuPont, Blackers, Zeev Buium, and Tom Wielander. So, I mean, it's cup or bust now for the Canucks. Like, it's cup or bust. And my NHL coaches here, I'm letting them walk. I think it's time to get a new voice in the room. We're turning things around here. The best thing for me to do would be to let them walk. Okay, so Wielander, we are definitely going to be re-signing you. What are you looking for? You're looking for 7.1 mil for 6 years with a full no move clause. Now, I'll be willing to do, can we try 6.5 at 7 years? We're just going to throw that out there. Hopefully he accepts, but if not, it's not the end of the world. TJ Brody, you're old. We're letting you walk. Kulak, I'll come back around to you. Blacker, We're signing you to your ELC. You're number 88. That's crazy. You're going to be great D-man for us. I am so excited to have you on our team. Sam Renzel, we will be re-signing you. You're looking for even better. You're looking for 1.4 mil. You know what? We'll round up to 1.5 because you've been great to us so far. So Renzel will be accepting that, and he will be coming back to the Canucks. DuPont, we are going to be offering you your ELC as well. Jesper Wallstead, you are a 90 overall, which is crazy. What are you looking at for a contract? You want 11 mil for 8 years. I'll tell you what, we go 9.8 with a no trade clause. I am totally okay with this. Hopefully Wallstead will be accepting that. Okay, Sam Renzel is going to be accepting Jesper Wallstead once again. Wallstead, like, why can't... Okay, well, we're just going to let him go hang out in free agency again because clearly he doesn't want to sign long-term here, but thankfully he's still an RFA for 2 more years. So at least we have that, and we'll be willing to match whatever anybody tries to offer sheet him. So Wallstead will leave you. Tom Willander, why are you doing this to me? We're going to try again with what you originally asked for, 7 mil for 7 years. I feel like that's a very fair contract for you. What if we go 10.5 for 8 years? I'll do 10.5. That's the max I'll go with you. Okay, we got Wallstead locked in for the rest of the video. That is great news. Willander as well. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Like, this couldn't have gone any better for us. And yes, I know we got $16 million locked up in goalies right now, basically $17 million, but that's okay because Kevin Lankinen, we are going to be shipping him out of here, like, probably this offseason. Yeah, we are. We got to get rid of him. I totally forgot about Bradford. He's 19 at 71 overall. Not looking horrible. He'll probably play 2 years in the minors, and then he'll come win a bunch of Stanley Cups with the Canucks. So I'm just thinking about it. Brett Kulak, you probably won't get any playing time with us. We have so many defensemen, although Kulak only wants 1.8 mil. We'll come back to that. Jack Thompson will qualify you. Niels Lundqvist will just release you. Vince Mancini will qualify you. DPD will qualify you. Rudolph, we will give you your ELC. Sawyer Menu, I'm just gonna let you walk. I'm sorry. Same with you. Don't care. Goalies, Young, yeah, I'll keep you around. Yeah, Kulak, I guess I'll offer you a contract. Why not? So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go sign all these RFAs, and I'm probably gonna let all these UFAs walk. So Andrew Burnett, we're gonna be offering you a contract to be our next head coach. Hopefully you will be accepting this, and we could start something special here. Keegan Colasar, I'd love to bring you to the Canucks to be a good 4th line right winger for us. I'll offer you 1.6, and you will be accepting that, so that is great. I would like to extend Krause. Let's go see what he's asking for. So he's wanting 2.45 mil for 3 years. Now I wonder if we offer him 2.5 mil for 4 years, and now hopefully that's enough to keep him around for the next 4 seasons. Okay, so Lawson Krause will be accepting. Now, Andrew Burnett, welcome to the Vancouver Canucks. Super happy to have you around. Hopefully you can lead this team to a couple Stanley Cups in the near future. I'm not going to make any more moves here in the offseason, so I'm just going to sim ahead to the regular season. Looking at our roster here, I think this team is ready to start competing for at least a playoff spot. I'm not too sure if we're ready for a Stanley Cup just yet, but I'm really happy with how this forward core has turned around. And now, Elias Pettersson, I am going to be keeping you in the lineup this year. Hopefully this just raises your trade value, and then hopefully I can get you traded out of here. And as you can see, Caleb Malhotra has improved quite a bit, so I'm hoping he can get himself a couple X factors this year and really cement himself as the second line center for the Vancouver Canucks. Our D-core is looking really, really good. DuPont and Blacker, first line D pair. I mean, I honestly would say in a couple years it could be the best number 1 D pair in the league. And now looking at goalies, Jesper Wallstead, 90 overall, and Kevin Lankinen, you're regressing, so I think I'm actually gonna go try and trade you right now before you regress too much and your trade value turns into nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go and try and trade Lankinen. So we're gonna be sending over Lankinen to Boston for a 6th round pick, and we're also gonna probably have to add this 6th round pick in there just because Lankinen's trade value is literally 0. So hopefully this is enough to get the deal done. And Boston is going to be accepting, so Lankinen, I'll see you later, man. Blomqvist, you're going to be coming back up to the big club here. So now I'm just going to sum up to the trade deadline, and hopefully we'll be in a playoff spot by then. If we are in a playoff spot, I'm not too sure if I'm going to make any moves in the trade deadline, just because I really like the makeup of this team, and we're a pretty young team right now too, so I just hope to be in a playoff spot by the deadline. We're right before the deadline, and Vancouver's currently first in the Pacific, so we're in a playoff spot. Everything's looking good. And now looking at the points, Elias Pettersson is leading our team in points with 51 points in 63 games. Steve Bouillon having 45 points in 63, and Landon Dupont having 42 points in 63 games. That's a pretty good first line D pair right there, if you ask me. Rutger McGroarty with 40 points. He's doing pretty good for the third line, so I like to see that. Now, Caleb Malhotra having 1 goal in 63 games is, this worries me a little bit. Although he does have 25 assists, so at least he's somewhat producing, but he also is -5, so that's not great. So now Drake Blacker having 18 points in 63 games. That's not great, but he also isn't playing power play. So looking at the goalie stats, we're currently getting carried by our goaltending. Now, Jesper Wallstedt is making me look like a genius, signing him to that $10.5 million contract with a .918 save percentage, and Blomqvist is having himself a very good year as well with a .924 save percentage, so I can't complain about that. I think I'm just going to sim through the trade deadline. We still are a really young team. I kind of have a vision for this team right now, and I don't really want to move on from any pieces just yet. I kind of want to see how Pettersson and Besser do. I'm just going to sim to the end of the year, and hopefully we're still in a playoff spot by the end of the year. I'm not too worried about winning the Pacific or winning the West. I don't really care about home ice. My main goal right now is just to make the playoffs. So we've accomplished our goal. After going 46, 27, and 9, the Vancouver Canucks are finally back in the playoffs. And now looking over at our team points, Elias Pettersson leading the team with 69 points in 82 games. Yeah, I think we're going to have to make another coaching change this offseason. Leo Carlsson, 61 points in 82 games. That's not great. If we go down and look at Caleb Malhotra, 4 goals and 33 assists for 37 points in 82 games. Not great, but we might just have to put some better pieces around him in the offseason here. Looking at the goalies, as you all know, we got carried a .918 from Wallstedt and a .927 from Blomqvist. Goaltending was definitely a strong suit for us this year, and hopefully throughout the next couple years with this goaltending tandem, they could keep this up, because having good goaltending just makes life a lot easier. And now looking at the league, the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be taking home the President's Trophy, while Vancouver finishes 7th overall, which, I mean, it's a lot better than I expected, to be honest. But looking at our goals for per game, they're the lowest in the league at 2.93, so I definitely would expect this roster to be scoring a lot more goals. And looking at power play goals, only having 24 power play goals in 82 games, I'm kind of embarrassed, so definitely gonna have to get some new coaches here in the off season. But so it looks like the Vancouver Canucks are playing the Calgary Flames in the first round of the playoffs here. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna sim up to game 4 and see where we're at here. Game 1 at home versus Calgary, we end up losing 2-0. We end up winning game 2 4-1 into Calgary. Okay, so we're at game 4 here. We have a 2-1 series lead. We're just gonna sim up to game 5. Series is tied at 2-2 now, game 5. This is the biggest game of the Vancouver Canucks season right here, and we end up losing 4-1. Okay, so we're gonna go into the sim here for game 6. I really hope we're not a first round exit here. This would not be great. After the first period, okay, we're down 3-0. Second period, 5-3. I mean, it's a little close. I mean, yeah, it's over. 6-5 final. Yeah. This team needs some work. Game 6 of the first round. This team needs some work. Just looking at our team stats here in the playoffs, Rutger McGroarty, he played a pretty good playoffs for us. I mean, I can't be mad about this. I don't believe I've signed him to an extension yet. Yeah, I haven't. So we're going to have to go do that. Hopefully he's not asking for a lot. But looking at our points here, Caleb Malhotra, 3 points in 6 games. He did develop an X factor for us. He got Big Tipper, which, I mean, an X factor is an X factor. I can't complain. Dupont, 3 points, that's all right. But the thing that worries me most here is if we go down to Elias Pettersson, he had 1 goal in 6 games and was a -4. This guy was an absolute non-factor in this series, and he's making basically 13 mil for the next 3 years. So I think this summer I'm really going to try to just get rid of PD because I don't want him around anymore. Looking at goaltending, Wall said he also wasn't that great. In the regular season, this was a strong suit for us, so it kind of makes sense why we were out so quick in the playoffs here. The Calgary Flames did end up making it to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they would fall short in 5 games to the Florida Panthers. Entering the draft, I'm not too sure of what I want to do yet. I think I'm just going to keep my pick, and I wonder if I could ask Pedersen to waive his no-move clause. It's not looking great, but we're going to go ahead and ask anyways. Yeah, he's saying no. Okay. So at pick 24 here, we could go with this 6'4" power forward, but I think we're going to go with the 6'3" right winger grinder, 65 overall. So who knows if he even turns out. And the power forward was 66 overall, so I don't really think we missed out too bad there. This goaltender looks good though. There we go. Elite potential goaltender. This is a great trade piece for us. He probably won't play for us, but he's a great trade piece. So I'm very happy with that selection there. We didn't really draft anyone that good there, except for that medium elite goaltender. So Rudker, we definitely want to keep you around. What are you going to be asking for? You want 6 years at 8.45 with a no trade clause. What if we go a modified for, let's do 6 years. We'll do 6 years, 8.5, a modified no trade clause. Hopefully he accepts this. I know Caleb Malhotra here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to offer him, he wants a 3-year deal, just a little bridge deal here. We're going to go ahead and offer him an 8-year deal at 4 mil with a modified no trade clause. Hopefully this is enough for him to accept. Okay, so Drew O'Connor, you had 18 points. Your career high is 33 points. Drew O'Connor, I don't think I'm going to keep you around. I'm just going to release you. Brett Kulak, I'm just going to release you. Atu Ratu, I'll qualify you. Actually, I'll sign you. You could be a good 4th liner for us. I'll sign you. 1 mil, easy. I'll do that contract any day of the week. Keegan Colasar, you didn't really pan out for us at all, so I'm just going to release you. Joel Blomqvist, yeah, you played really good for us. I'll keep you around. Never mind. If you want 4 mil for 2 years, I could definitely just get a cheaper option, so I might just let you walk to free agency, honestly. So Caleb Malhotra is going to be rejecting. I guess we're just going to have to offer him more money. Rudker is going to be sticking around for the rest of this video, unless we trade him, which I don't have a plan to just yet. So Caleb Malhotra, I'll offer you 4.5. 4.5 for 7 years. You should be accepting this. And you are. Okay, great. So we have you locked down for the rest of the video now at possibly a steal of a deal. So Joel Blomqvist, I don't know if I could do 4.5. Like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to let you walk, and then I could probably find a similar option for cheaper. I mean, you did have a really good year for us, but before that season, your stats have been pretty iffy. So I don't want to sign you to a bad deal or a deal that I'm going to regret. I think first thing I'm going to do here in free agency is my coaching staff. This assistant coach, just looking at his power play, is a C, and his penalty kills a C-. We did score 24 goals on the power play last season, so he's gone. Someone like Jonathan Spooner, he has 61% team fit, which is all right, but his power play is a B and his penalty kills a B-, which is a lot better than a C and a C-. So it's a little trick I like to do too, is I just offer them a bunch of money and it normally guarantees them accepting. So now looking at who I have to extend here, Coots is going to be up. He's an 85 overall. What's Coots asking for? He wants 8 mil for 3 years. And just because of this, just because we're paying PD 13 mil right now, we can't do that. So yeah, there's not really anyone I would I don't really have to offer any extensions right now, so I'm going to go look at free agents. We do need a backup goalie for sure. Elvis Merzlikins, he is kind of old, but he was Florida's backup. So you know what, Elvis Merzlikins, we'll just offer you a contract here. 1.225 for 2 years. That's totally okay with me. Now we need a third line left winger here. So looking at Pius Suter's stats here, he did have 46 points in 82 games, and I feel like he would slot in perfectly for us on our third line. So we do have some money to throw around here still. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to offer him 5.5 for 3 years with a modified no trade clause. Hopefully this is enough to get the deal done. He's going to be accepting. So Pius Suter, welcome back to the Canucks. I like the look of our team right now. I think I'm just going to sim ahead and sim up to the next season. We got our new coach. Hopefully our power play will be a lot better this year. And hopefully we could find a way to move on from Petey, because in a couple years, his contract might bite us in the butt hard. So yeah, Jonathan Spooner is accepting. So that's great. So looking at our team here, I believe this team has what it takes to compete for a cup. Having Brock Besser, he's making 8.1 mil, playing fourth line minutes for us. Our right side is super deep. I know Coots, he's a center. He doesn't have any secondary positions, but we're going to try him out on the right wing here. And if it doesn't work out, I think we're just going to trade him for a second line right winger. Our forward core is looking really, really good. And our defense, Yves Bouillon, has developed all the way into a 92 overall. And Landon DuPont's already a 93 overall. So our D-core is scary good. And then obviously goalies, Wallstead and Merzlikins. Scratched, we do have this Carter Kingerski. He's scratched. He's 81 overall. He's got top 6 forward high. He is 21 years old. So I'm wondering if I don't want Kingerski sitting out of the lineup for too long, because he needs minutes to develop, but he's too good for the minors. So I might see how the first month goes with Coots playing on the right wing here. And if Coots isn't playing great, we might have to just trade Coots and Besser for a first line right winger, put Lekaramaki on the second line, bump Nicholas Waugh down to the fourth line, and then put in Kingerski there in the third line right wing slot. So we're gonna sim the first month here, and we're just gonna see how everybody does, and hopefully all is good and we don't have to make any trades. So we are 4-4 after the first month, so it's a lot worse than I was expecting, to be completely honest. Leo Carlson is leading the team in points with 11 right now. Lekaramacki's doing good, Frondell's doing good, so that's the whole first line is doing great. So after the first line, it looks like our secondary scoring is severely lacking. Caleb Malhotra, 3 points. Rutger McGroarty, 2 points. Coots has 1 point. So Wallstead's stats are looking very good. I think he's got a 932. He's played all 8 games. I wonder if we just throw Kingerski here in the second line right wing spot. Try a couple games with him here. If our second line plays better with him here, then maybe we just trade Coots for, I don't know who to trade him for, because our team, to be honest, I don't think our team has too many holes right now. We're just gonna sim another month, see how this second line does without Coots on it, and go from there. Okay, so we're 13-8, a little bit better than 500, but I still have higher expectations for this team. I feel like we should be doing better still. Leo Carlson is clearly carrying us. Caleb Malhotra, he's playing really good, 18 points in 21 games. So Kingerski being on the second line clearly is helping, although he only has 4 points in 13 games, which isn't terrible. Now Atu Ratti, you do have 2 points in 21 games, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to healthy scratch you, and Coots, you could be our fourth line center. So I think this is the lineup we're going to be rocking with until the trade deadline, and hopefully we're first in our division, and hopefully I don't really see myself making any moves, because to be honest, I feel like this team should win a cup, but we'll see how we do here. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline here. We're 39-20-3. There was a time where we did go on a 6-game losing streak. We lost quite a few games. We couldn't score a goal for a while. I was getting a little worried, but it seemed to kind of figure itself out here. So we're currently second in the Pacific. Vegas is a wagon right now. They're 43-15-5. So I don't know if we'll pass them, but that's the regular season. It doesn't matter. Now looking at the stats, Leo Carlson right now is he's barely holding on to a point per game pace, and for that we don't really have anything. Caleb Malhotra has 14 goals in 62 games. Brock Besser has 13 goals. He should be a goal scorer for us. Kingerski has not been playing great at all, but he is still super young. Braden Coots has not been playing great whatsoever. He has 13 points in 50 games. Now, I know he is playing fourth line minutes, but I still would expect more from him. And goaltending, nothing to worry about here. Our goalies have been playing great all year, so I think we need to go find a goal scorer, because obviously the Vancouver Canucks have a goal scoring problem. So I'm really hoping Brock Besser has Montreal on his trade list here. He does. Okay, great. So we're going to be trying to acquire Cole Caulfield, and never mind, we cannot do that because we're not on Cole Caulfield's trade list. So, oh boy, we need to go find a right wing sniper. Bad. So we're going to try to trade Braden Coots and Daganus over to Washington for Ryan Leonard. They're going to be rejecting. We're going to have to add a little more to this, which I'm totally fine adding some draft picks here. What if we throw a third round pick in? Is this enough to get the deal done? Washington is saying no. We're going to have to overpay. Big time. What about Steos? We add Steos in. This is a crazy trade. I mean, Washington, there's no way they don't accept this. They accept it, and then we instantly get put into another trade. Asset no longer on team. Okay, so I think the trade went through. We did acquire Ryan Leonard. Should be a good first line right winger for us. He does have 25 goals this year, so, and he's on a pretty friendly contract for the next 6 years. So hopefully this wasn't a bad trade for us. I just need to go in and make sure that this trade actually went through and nobody else picked up Leonard. So yeah, there you have it. We do have Leonard. Hopefully we found a fix for our goal scoring, because we do have a really bad problem and we aren't able to score goals. So I'm going to exit the trade deadline here. Hopefully this was enough. So looking at our lines here after the trade deadline, if we don't win the Stanley Cup, I mean, I don't really know what to say or what to do. Hopefully I did enough. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to sim to the end of the season here. I'd imagine we're still in a playoff spot. I don't think we're going to be catching Vegas. Let's see how the boys do. So the Vancouver Canucks have made the playoffs 2 years in a row now. We finished 53, 26, and 3 for 109 points, second in the Pacific. So that's pretty good. I mean, Vegas was just a complete wagon. There was no way we were catching them. Now, looking at our player stats here, once again, we didn't have a point per game player. This is starting to worry me. I don't know if this is a player issue or a roster construction issue or just a coaching issue, but Ryan Leonard, we picked him up. He had 25 goals and 25 assists. He finished the season off with 29 goals and 29 assists, so he had 8 points in about 25 games, I think it is. So that's not great whatsoever. Caleb Malhotra, 58 points in 82 games, 17 goals and 41 assists. He was a plus 13. I'm not mad about that. For a 22-year-old, that's a pretty all-right season for him. Brock Besser, 56 points. Elias Pettersson, 54 points. Looking at our goaltending again, a 919 for Jesper Wallstedt and a 924 for Elvis Merzlikins. I feel like we got carried again by our goaltending, which kind of worries me leading into playoffs. Because if our goaltending isn't as good as it has been, we're going to run into the same issue as we did last year, and we'll be out in 6 games in the first round. We are going to be playing the Calgary Flames once again in the first round of the playoffs here. So you already know the drill. We're going to sim up to game 4, and Vancouver is going to be dropping the first 2 games at home. This is not looking great at all. We're going to be dropping the first 3 games actually. So game 4, we're on the verge of elimination. There's a chance we can get swept here. Okay, we're up 2-0, 2-2, going into the third period here. Season on the line. We're going to slow sim it. I'm getting nervous here. I'm getting really nervous. It's looking like we're going to be going to overtime here. So game 4, overtime, on the verge of elimination. Who is going to be the OT hero? And we're on the penalty kill. 5-on-3, and that's the series. And that's the season. Steven Stamkos. So we lose to Calgary in 6 last year. We get a rematch against them this year, and we lose in 4. Ryan Leonard, you played okay. Frondell, you played okay. DuPont, I expect a lot more from you. Besser, you played all right. Buyam, I expect more. Leo Carlson, I expect a lot more. Elias Pettersson, I expect more. Aturati, whatever, you're a 4th liner. I don't really... You did better. You did just as... Actually, no, you did better than Caleb Malhotra. You were a +2. Caleb Malhotra was a -1 with 1 assist in 4 games. Lekkerimäki, you sucked. Suter, you sucked. Oh, boy. Like, Rutger McGroarty, we're paying you $8.5 mil, and you didn't have a single point. Goaltending was terrible, too. I'm not too sure what to do. I think we're just going to have to make a coaching change here. And your Dallas Stars defeat the New York Islanders in 6 games to take home the Stanley Cup in 2030. Calgary actually made it to the Western Conference Finals again. So I guess Calgary is just a wagon, and we're just running into a hot team. Okay, a gem goaltender? I hope his trade value is high because we're going to be selecting him. He does have elite potential, so that's 2 years in a row now selecting medium elite potential goaltenders. So, okay, what is up with all these gems? What? Do we want a right? Yeah, we want the right winger. Okay, so I guess we just got a 3rd round gem again. Top 6 forward, low sniper, which... We need snipers. Getting 2 gems in that draft there. That wasn't too bad, actually. So now just looking at our contracts here, we're going to have to extend DuPont, and Blacker is going to need an extension. I don't think we'll end up extending Waugh. Pettersson, he'll probably end up walking. Kingerski is going to need an extension. I don't expect him to ask for a lot of money. Our window's slowly starting to close now. You know, it's always a good sign when you go to re-sign players and you don't really have anyone to re-sign, except we're not winning playoff games. So I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Let's go look what DuPont's asking for. I think his career high in points is like 74. Yeah, it's 74. So if he's asking for a shitload of money, which he's asking for 15.2 mil. This doesn't make any sense because DuPont, you haven't been point per game in your life. I know the salary cap has went up, but I don't know. My brain is just in shambles right now. Blacker, what would you be asking for? 6 mil for 5 years. Now this is something I could actually get behind. We're going to offer Blacker an extension. We'll see if he'll do 6.25 for 5 years. Hopefully he'll be accepting that. Other than that, I'm not going to extend anybody else right now. I don't really think I'm going to sign any free agents either. But what I am going to do is go to my coaching staff. Brunette, you're fired. Nichols, you're fired. So we got to go hire a whole new staff for our NHL and our AHL squad. So yeah, there's not really anyone in free agency I want to sign either. I like the makeup of our roster. I'm pretty sure this was just a coaching issue. So I think we're just going to try again this season with a pretty similar roster, and hopefully a different staff can just get us over the hump here. Our head coach is accepting. Our associate coach is accepting. And our assistant coach is accepting. So we got our coaching staff, our AHL coaching staff we got, and Drake Blacker actually does accept the extension. So that is great news. So I think that's it for the offseason, honestly. I just need a new coaching staff. I think the plan for next season is going to be keep the same group of guys around. Hopefully we can get over the hump in the first round now. I feel like we should be a cup contender with this roster, and if this doesn't work out, Besser's traded, Marcus Pettersson's not going to be re-signed. Hopefully we have enough to keep DuPont around, because that would be terrible if we couldn't keep him. So it's getting late though. I'm going to head to bed here. I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Maybe I'll think of a different plan, and hopefully I could bring the city of Vancouver a cup here next season. Okay, so coming into this year, our lines are looking pretty similar to last season, except over the summer, Caleb Malhotra has developed quick draw and ankle breakers, so hopefully he could be a reliable defensive face-off guy for us, because, you know, to win playoff games, you need guys like that. So yeah, once again, extremely high expectations for this team. Marcus Pettersson has regressed heavily, but that's all right. This is the last year of his deal, so I'm okay with him playing. Goalies, Wallstedt hasn't developed an X factor yet, which he's 27 now. I don't know if he will, and his no trade clause has officially kicked in, so I think we're locked in with Wallstedt for the rest of the video, sadly. But he's been great to us, so I'm not too worried about it. And same scratches, Rinzel, Ratti. Okay, so I'm pretty confident with this team, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sim up to the deadline here. We'll figure out a plan of attack for the playoffs from there. Okay, so at the trade deadline here, we're currently tied for first in the Pacific with the Vegas Golden Knights with 76 points. Our record is 36, 21, and 4. I honestly feel like we should be dominating even more than we are. Looking at our stats here, once again, we do not have a player that has point per game, which this has been a problem all video. I've tried changing the coach. I don't know what to do about this now, but Ryan Leonard's leading our team in points right now with 57 points in 61 games. Caleb Malhotra is having himself a season. 56 points in 61 games, although he does have 9 goals. But I think I've just come to terms that Malhotra doesn't score. He just sets people up, and he's a plus 10, which is great. So now Leo Carlsson, 51 points in 61 games. Not great. Brock Besser's having an alright year for playing third line minutes. DuPont, he's having a down year. Booyum's having a down year. Elias Pettersson, 36 points in 61 games. He is playing third line minutes for us, and he's a plus 18, so not terrible. And look at our goalie stats. Jesper Wallstedt has a 912 save percentage, and Elvis Merzlikins has a 898, which isn't great. Compared to prior years, this is a down year for our goaltending, and we're tied for first in our division, so I'm pretty happy with the way the team's going right now. Right now, I don't really want to mess with how the guys are playing because, once again, we are first in the Pacific, so at least we're sitting in a playoff spot. So at the end of the season, the Vancouver Canucks finished second in the Pacific with 100 points. We had 48 wins, 30 losses, and 4 overtime losses. Looking at the league here, the New York Islanders are going to be taking home the President's Trophy this year after going 51, 24, and 7, which in my mind, that's how I see the Vancouver Canucks doing, but we were only able to pull out 48 wins. But going into playoffs this year, I have higher expectations because, as you see here, the Calgary Flames finished 7th in the Pacific, so that means they're not going to be playing in the playoffs. So this year we will have a different first round matchup, and it looks like we're going to be playing the Edmonton Oilers, so hopefully we could get past the Oilers in the first round on our way to the Cup. Looking at our player points here, Caleb Malhotra had himself a season with his career high in points, 75 points in 82 games. Ryan Leonard finished his second with 68 points, having 23 goals and 45 assists. Leo Carlsson, I don't know what's going on with you. We need to figure out something that will get you going, because 65 points in 82 games as a 92 overall, this just doesn't make any sense to me. Jesper Wallstedt ended the year with 41 wins and a 913 save percentage. So once again, kind of a down year for Wallstedt, but at the same time, he had 69 games played. So I think if we're going to want to be a better regular season team, we might have to get a more reliant backup goalie, because Merzlikins playing 14 games, that's just not enough. Wallstedt needs more rest than that. And not only that, you had a 900 save percentage in 14 games. So it's not even like you were a reliable option. You had some pretty poor performances in your 14 games. So we're going to be playing the Oilers in the first round here. We're going to be summing up game 4. And now game 1 at home, we are going to be losing 4-1. Game 2 at home, we're going to be losing 3-1. This is just flashbacks of last year now. Okay, we do end up taking the first game in overtime in Edmonton. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sim game 4. Hopefully we come back to Vancouver with a tied series. So we're going into game 5 now. The series is tied up with 2s. Hopefully we could get a win here, and we end up losing game 5. So we're gonna hop in the slow sim here for game 6. Hopefully this isn't it for us, because this won't be good. 1-1 after the first, 2-2 after the second. Like, why are we doing this? Just the stress. We're getting outshot heavily by the Oilers right now. We are on the power play though. We don't convert. This is giving some overtime vibes again, and I don't like this at all. It's looking like we're gonna be going to overtime. Who is gonna be the winner to force Game 7 for the Canucks? Who wants to be the OT hero? Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse ends the Vancouver Canucks season. This is 3 years in a row making it to the first round and 3 years in a row getting bounced in the first round. We have some major things to go over this offseason. If we're letting Darnell Nurse score the OT winner to put us out. So looking at the stats in the playoffs here, Leo Carlsson had 6 points in 6 games, which that's not terrible. Caleb Malhotra also had 6 points in 6 games, but he didn't score a goal. So this is starting to frustrate me. Why can't Caleb Malhotra score a goal? I think his career high in goals in the regular season is 14. Jonathan Lekkerimäki, you weren't great. We might be moving on from you in this offseason. Anton Frundell, you weren't great. We might be moving on from you. Ryan Leonard, you weren't great. I kind of want to move on from you, but at the same time, I just don't. Rutger McGroarty, I think your time as a Vancouver Canuck has officially ended. Landon DuPont, I'm speechless. 2 points in 6 games. You're supposed to be a franchise-altering player. This is just embarrassing. Once again, goaltending was not great at all. The .902 save percentage and 3.5 goals against average. So there's going to be a lot of moves to be made in this offseason. I will say that. So we're at the draft here, and I'm instantly going to Toronto. Matty Nyes for Pius Suter, a 3rd round pick. Hopefully this isn't a stupid trade. This could either make or break our franchise mode here. So Toronto's going to be accepting Matthew Nyes. Welcome to the team. Hopefully we could get you signed and you could be a big part of this team for us. So we're going to be sending Brock Besser and Mapletov over to the Vegas Golden Knights. In return, we're going to be getting Morgan Geekie. He has signed an extension for 3 more years at $9.2 million, and that's a contract I'm willing to be taking on. So we're going to go ahead. Vegas is going to be accepting Brock Besser. See you later. So honestly, this is just kind of a cap dump. I'm pretty pissed off with how McGroarty's played for us, so I'm going to try to steal 2 first-round picks from Detroit here. I don't think this is going to work, but yeah. What if we just try to swap first-round picks? Will Detroit accept this? They'll say no. What if we add in our 2nd this year as well? They say no. So last offer, what if we add next year's 2nd? And they say no. So what we will do is we will add this year's 1st and McGroarty for Detroit's 1st next year. And Detroit will be accepting that. So McGroarty, I'll probably never pick you up in franchise mode again. So our first pick's not till the 2nd round here. And I think we're just going to draft Kevin Sestito here. He's got potential to be a low elite defenseman. So he is. So that's a pretty good draft. Not a terrible draft considering we only had 4 picks. But let's go see what Matthew Nyes is wanting. Okay, Matthew Nyes, what are you going to be asking for here? You're going to be asking for $10 million for 4 years on a full no move clause. I'm fine if we do actually 9.875, 4 years, no move clause. This would be a perfect contract. DuPont, let's go see what you're looking for. 13 mil for 7 years. What if we go 6 years at 12.85? Sam Renzel, you'll be our new 3rd line right-handed defenseman. Marcus Pettersson, we're releasing you. Kingerski, we're gonna qualify you. Bradford, we got to qualify you because you guys are going to play for us this year. DPD, you're going to be our 3rd line left-handed defenseman, so you're going to be playing. So Matthew Nyes is going to be accepting. He's going to be staying around for the next 4 seasons, so it's looking like a great trade for us. Landon DuPont's going to be saying no. He's not going to be signing at that dollar value. So just looking at it here, we have 13.9 mil in cap space. I think DuPont's asking for 13.8. Leo Carlsson's going to need a contract next year. Lekkerimäki, yeah, I'm gonna be trading you. Actually, you don't really need to be playing 3rd line minutes for me making 5.5 anymore. Kingerski's asking for, he's only asking for 1.6 mil. What if we could get him down to 1.5 for 1 year? I'm okay with doing that. Cam Bradford's wanting 1.5 for 2 years. I am totally okay with that. Kingerski's going to be accepting, and Bradford's going to be saying no, he needs to test free agency. So I honestly don't expect him to get offer sheeted, so I'm just going to let him walk. Looking at our goalies here, Merzlikins, we're going to just release you. We are going to need a backup goalie. We're in tight for the cap right now. We're going to be sending Lekkerimaki over to Boston for their 2nd round pick this year and their 3rd round pick next year. Boston's will be accepting that, and that should give us enough room to re-sign DuPont. Hopefully we could get Bradford re-signed too. I don't know why he's being so stubborn about it, but now DuPont all of a sudden is asking for 14 mil. So 6 years at 13.85 with a full no move clause in his final year of the deal. Hopefully he'll accept that. So now we do need to go sign a backup goalie again. We're gonna offer Sergeyev a 1-year deal here at $800K is what he's asking for, so even better for us. He's gonna be accepting, so we got our backup for the year. DuPont's accepting. He's gonna be around for the rest of this video, so this is great news for us. Hopefully he can continue to grow and bring us a cup this next season, because we're getting close to the end here. So let's go ahead and let's see what Bradford's asking for now. We're gonna offer him a 2-year deal at 1 mil, which is $500K less than what we already offered him, and he's gonna accept this. So okay, that's fine with me. So I think that's all the moves we're gonna make here in the off season, and we're gonna go ahead and hopefully have a breakout year next year and win a Stanley Cup. This is what our lines are looking like heading into the year. Heading over to defense, you know the drill. Zeke Bouillon, Len DuPont. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline here. We're 33, 24, and 7. We're barely in a playoff spot, so this isn't looking great for us. Looking at our team stats here, Leo Carlsson's leading the way with 60 points in 64 games. So of course he's finally having a good year when it's a contract year for him. DuPont is having a career year, 55 points in 64 games. Looking at our goalies, Wallstedt has a 918, which is pretty good. Sergeyev has an 899, which is terrible, but he's cheap, so that's fine. So going into the trade deadline here, I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be addressing this depth scoring we have, because we can't score goals. Our 4th line is just brutal. So we're going to send over a 3rd round pick. Hopefully this is enough, and Columbus is accepting. So Peyton Krebs is going to be playing 4th line left wing for us for the rest of the year. So we're going to send Kingerski over to Calgary for Graf. Maybe we could get this deal done 1-for-1. It's looking like Calgary is going to accept it. So I think that's all the trades I'm going to make here at the deadline. So your Vancouver Canucks do make the playoffs here. We went 41, 33, and 8 to 4th in the Pacific Division. So we're in a wild card spot. We're going to be playing the Vegas Golden Knights in the 1st round. Leo Carlsson's going to be leading the way with 78 points in 82 games. Once again, we are yet to see a point per game player on this team. Looking at goaltending, Jesper Wallsted's going to be leading the way with a 917. So once again, Wallsted's just playing great, and I think we're on fraud watch right now. We've been on fraud watch. Like I said, we haven't had a player get point per game. I think we've had it once in this video, so I don't know. I'm getting pretty annoyed with this, to be honest. So let's see how we do in the playoffs here against the Knights. They have Jeremy Swayman. I'm just gonna sim to Game 7. Game 1 in Vegas. It looks like, of course, we're going to be losing. When do we ever win a Game 1? Game 2, of course, we're going to lose. When do we ever win a Game 2? Game 3, okay, we're going to blow Vegas out in Game 3. Game 4, we're going to be losing. And in Game 5, we're going to be forcing Game 6, and we're out in 6. So this team has a major problem right now. We can't score in the playoffs, and we can't keep the puck out of our net in the playoffs. Leo Carlsson having 6 points, but also being a -7 is completely unacceptable. Now, you are on an expiring deal, and I'm going to have to re-sign you, because a guy like you, we can't just go out and replace in free agency. And Drake Blacker, I think your time with the Vancouver Canucks is officially coming to an end. So before we get to the draft here, I'm really hoping we can get an extension done here with Leo Carlsson. 16.75 for 6 years. Hopefully that's enough to keep him around. And if not, we might have to just take the L on this one and let him go to free agency. So Leo Carlsson's going to be accepting. Hopefully this is a contract we don't regret. We did have to overpay him a little bit, and I know he hasn't been a point per game player for us, but once again, this is a guy that you just can't really replace in free agency, and if we were to trade him, his trade value would be super low because his contract's expiring July 1st. And now your Columbus Blue Jackets do go on to win the Stanley Cup. They're taking down Vegas in 5 games in the finals, and knowing that the teams that we've been losing to in the first round here have made some pretty deep playoff runs. So for us as a team right now, it feels like we're the Leafs, and we just got to get past this first round. And I feel like if we slay this dragon in the first round, we can finally go on a run, and that's what we're going to try to do here next year. So entering the draft here, I think the goal is to acquire a defensive defenseman. So Buffalo, you do have Samuelsson on your trade block. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to take him from you, and I will give you Blacker in the deal. I don't want to take on $8 million with Samuelsson. So I'm going to try to send over a 2nd round pick in hopes that Buffalo will retain at least 2.5 mil. And I'm willing to throw in a couple more draft picks here in hopes to get this trade done. So Buffalo's going to be saying no. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to offer up another 2nd round pick. And Buffalo's going to be accepting. So I feel like that's going to be a great trade for us. So I think that's all the trades we're going to be making in the draft here. We're going to offer him 3 years at 3.325. Hopefully he's accepting that. Elias Pettersson, you're gone, finally. You were the biggest headache of my entire career playing franchise mode. So now it looks like everybody else is just an AHL player. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign some of these guys to an AHL contract, and we'll go solidify our depth in free agency here. So now AJ Greer, you look like a perfect piece for the 4th line. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to offer you 1 year at 1.45. You're going to be accepting that. So hopefully you could play a big role on the 4th line for us. And now all we need to do is find a 3rd pairing left-handed defenseman, and our team should be set for hopefully a cup run this year. Now someone like Sam Bolduc, you're perfect for us. If we could get you at 3.5 for 3 years, this will be great. So hopefully you're going to accept this. You're going to be accepting the contract offer, so this is great. I think our team's set. Hopefully this is the team that's finally going to get us over the hump here. Hopefully we could get out of the first round. Now actually, Connor Geekie, we're going to offer you a contract here. Hopefully we could get you at a 2-year deal at $2 million. This will pretty much put us right to the cap, and you could play some great 4th line minutes for us if you are accepting this. So Connor Geekie, you're going to be accepting, and now our team has no excuses this year. Now, honestly, just thinking about it, I don't think our head coach was getting the most out of our players here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to fire him, because looking at who there is to hire here, Kenny Norton, I think you're the guy. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to offer you this head coaching job, and I pray that you accept, because I'd feel pretty stupid for firing my head coach and not being able to acquire you. Norton's going to be accepting, so hopefully he's the guy to get us across the finish line here. I think this is like our 4th coach this video. So this is how our team's looking heading into this year. I honestly have 0 expectations for this team now, because every time I have high expectations for this group, I just seem to get severely disappointed. Our defense is looking good. We finally added some defensive defensemen to this lineup, like Matisse Samuelsson and Sam Bolduc. So hopefully these guys are going to be helping out and help keep the puck out of our net, because especially come playoff time, that seems to be a huge struggle for us. And goalies, you guys already know Wallstead. Once again, no X factors or anything, so I feel like he's probably just not going to develop any, but that's all right. So we're at the trade deadline right now, and finally this roster is playing how I've wanted them to play all video. We're currently 1st in the league, 44, 13, and 6. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say except for finally something's clicked for this group, and it's about time that we start dominating. And looking at our player stats here, Leo Carlsson is having an absolute season right now with 76 points in 63 games, leading the way for the Canucks. We finally have somebody that's over a point per game, and not only is Leo Carlsson, Ryan Leonard 66 points and Anton Frundell with 64 points. So our entire first line is playing lights out right now, and I couldn't be happier. Looking at the goalies, Wallstead, he's got a 914. He could have an 850 save percentage right now, and we would still be in a playoff spot. So I'm not too worried just yet. Sergeyev, he's playing very good for us with a 929, which is just great. So hopefully he could keep that up in the limited starts he gets. And so yeah, I'm just gonna sim up to the end of the year here, and hopefully we can keep this up because we're on a roll. And we got to keep buzzing here. To end the year off, the Vancouver Canucks go 57, 17, and 8 for 122 points. It's about time this team starts playing good. I just need to see some playoff success out of this group. Once again, regular season, great, good for us, but we're not here to win President's trophies. We're here to win Stanley Cups. So hopefully we could get past the first round here, whoever we end up playing, which I believe it's going to be the Winnipeg Jets. Looking at the player stats here, we finally had not one, but 3 players over a point per game. I believe this is my first or second time having a point per game player since I've started this video. Now, Leo Carlsson, 97 points, 48 goals, almost 50 goals for us. I'll pay you 16 mil if you're going to do this for us. Ryan Leonard, 86 points, and Anton Frundell, 84 points. So I couldn't be happier with this, and just looking at everybody's plus minus, everybody looked good except for AJ Greer. But actually our fourth line's a little bit of a liability. Just looking at it here, -1, +1, and a 0. So Matisse Samuelsson, a +35 with 29 points. I'm really happy with this trade we made. I feel like this really helped us out as a team. Not only did we get a little better defensively, but we also got a little bit older on the back end, and I feel like we were just too young. So looking at our goalies, Wallstead finishes the year off with a 916 with 47 wins, and Sergeyev with a 928. I'm pretty happy with how this team's played so far. So we are going to be playing the Winnipeg Jets here, and game 1, I'm actually going to go ahead and jump in just so I could get the thumbnail for this video. So I'll sim the first 2 periods, and I got to jump in for the third just so I could get the thumbnail. After the first, we're down 2-1. Going into the third, we're down 2-1. So, okay, and just to show you guys, I'm pretty sure I got my thumbnail. Sadly, I did need to score for it, so the game is tied 2-2 now. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna back out of here, and hopefully we come out with the win, and we do in overtime. So, I'll take it. A win's a win. That's the first time we've won game 1 of the first round, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to sim to game 4 here, and hopefully we could just be up 3 rip. So going into game 2 here, we do lose 3-2, so that's not great. I'm a little nervous. We do lose game 3 as well, so once again, I'm getting nervous. We're going to sim game 4. If we lose this, I think the video's over. We do win it, so game 5, biggest game of this franchise's career, I would say. At home too, we do end up winning it. So game 6, a chance to move on to the second round, finally. And we do. Ladies and gentlemen, your Vancouver Canucks have officially slayed the dragon once again and have moved on to the second round. And this time, we are playing nobody else but the Calgary Flames. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go sim up to game 4 once again, and hopefully we could have a nice series lead, but it's not looking like it. We're going to be going down 3. Oh my days. We're up 2-1 after the first period with goals from Bouillon and Dupont. After the second period, we do go up 4-1, and we do end up, so we're not getting swept in the second round. At least we do take a game. Hopefully we could reverse sweep, but I'm not expecting it, especially with the way we lost the first 3 games. I feel like Calgary is just a better team than us, but I could be completely mistaken here. We are going to be taking game 5 as well, forcing a game 6 here. Hopefully the Canucks aren't edging us here. Let's just go into game 6. First period, we're up 2-1. We're down 3-2 going into the third period. And wow, the Vancouver Canucks are forcing a game 7. We lose the first 3, and now we've just forced a game 7 in the second round here. So, I don't know why I'm getting my hopes up. Yeah, we're not a playoff team. We're down 3-1 after the first. and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to come back from this. And there you have it. Your Vancouver Canucks fall in the second round to the Calgary Flames. So once again, we just couldn't really get anyone to perform in the playoffs here. Tom Wielander did have a unbelievable playoff run, but unfortunately, that just wasn't enough. Leo Carlson, you got to be a point per game player in the playoffs if we're going to be winning a Stanley Cup, and unfortunately, you're not. Matthew Nyes, you weren't great at all. Malhotra, you were brutal for us. Oh, man. Well, and Jesper Wallstedt, once again, you were just going to be having a terrible playoff run. Or unfortunately, your contract does have a no-trade clause in it, so I don't think we'll ever be able to move on from you. So unfortunately, we were only able to do 8 years in this rebuild. While I was recording this, I was just super sick, and if you guys don't know, I do have a full-time job where I'm working 10 to 14 hours a day. So near the end of this, I was just, I guess you could say, pretty upset. But next time I do one of these, I'm going to make sure that we're going to do a 10-year rebuild. Hopefully, it will be a lot better than this. If you're still watching this, just comment down below water so I know you're a real one, and I'll be sure to put your comment in the next video. That's going to be it. I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.